Welcome, Guy friends, to Three Things Live. We are so excited to have you here, and we are so excited to be celebrating nothing better than freedom. So welcome to Three Things Live, where thing number one is something to make you smile. Thing number two is something to learn, and thing number three is something to discover. Let's go. We're back, and I am so excited and a little bit nervous for thing number one today. Can you hear who I have got on the set with me? You never know what to expect when you have Cindy and Cheri
That's
together.
right, we're in the house.
But they didn't come in with any big bags, any big games. They didn't lock themselves in this room, so I think we're safe.
It's a safe day today.
It's a safe day. Welcome, everybody. We are so excited to have you here, and welcome to all of you for joining us. We really appreciate you. It is a fun week. Did you guys join us yesterday?
I did. I loved seeing Kyle and Sandra's blocks. They did such a great job.
Really fun.
If you do not know what we're talking about, this week we are celebrating the word freedom, and we're doing it with the Stitch Your Story blocks. And Stitch Your Story, if those of you that are just new or just joining us, is a 12.5 by 12.5 inch block that represents you, something that you take. We give you a word every single month just to spark a little bit of ideas, but you can use anything you want. And our last month we talked about legacy, and this month we talked about freedom. And both of them kind of took a little bit different take on the word freedom, and it was freedom from maybe some emotional trauma, or freedom from just a time in life when you feel a little bit more free, which could be any time. Maybe you are a new mom and you feel so free, you know, with those babies around you.
When they go to kindergarten.
Yeah.
And you only have 2.5 hours. That's freedom, guys.
I know.
When you can take a shower by yourself.
Oh, you know what? I have a little dog, and that would be freedom right there.
He needs to go to preschool.
Doggy daycare, right?
Yeah.
So I am really, really excited for today's freedom. And Cheri, what are we going to talk about today?
So I, first of all, had to laugh at Kyle and Sandra as they kept talking. They're like, we didn't go with the one in the rut. Well, I'm sorry, but I'm the rut today. Because when I first got this block, I immediately knew what I was going to talk about. This one
Some
just
are easier than others,
some
right?
are. And for this one, it totally resonated because of some things that have happened in my life. Okay. So first of all, we're going to let's see if we can put up a picture of my grandpa. Okay, so Grandpa is on the left.
Okay.
And Grandpa.
Oh my word!
Such
a handsome guy.
And this is Grandpa Butterfield.
Yes.
So
What?
Grandpa, it is.
You two are related?
Probably. But Grandpa Butterfield served in the Navy, and I did not know that when I was really little. And I remember hearing a few little stories, and Grandpa never talked about serving. And so it was when my kids were in 5th grade and they did a program, he came up, and it was the first time I ever saw him stand and be recognized for his service.
Wow.
And I remember just sitting there sobbing because he just was like, my service was not important. All I did was scrape paint. And I just was like, your service is important no matter what you're doing. And so it was really touching to me. And, you know, my dad wasn't in the service, my husband's not in the service, so I never felt like we were a military family because Grandpa kept it so on the down low. So we're going to fast forward a few years, and then my son comes to us and he's like, I want to join the service. And we're like, great, that's good for other people's kids, but I don't know that that's the best thing for you. And, you know, we talked a lot about it, and he finally was like, no, this is what I want to do. And we kind of had to come to terms with that. And as a parent, it is so hard because I think they're so in the moment and they don't see the possibilities. And as a parent, you see that. And so you see them join the service, and he went away and came back all signed up. And I brought, he's always my little boy.
Right.
So he went to his boot camp, and when we went to his graduation, you can see the picture on the right is me hugging him for the first time after he did his basic training. And so he had been gone for about 12 weeks. We'd gotten some letters is all the only way they can communicate. And that first letter back home, we found out, wow, we really messed up as parents because he doesn't even know how to address an envelope. So we were really grateful for that after every letter we got that it made it, because it was kind of a rough thing. And then his writing got worse and worse, and he was writing on just some filled notebooks, and so he could write at any moment that he had, and his writing was terrible. We would write it, we would guess at what the words were. But we go to his graduation, and you see them, you don't really know who they are because they're all dressed the same, they're all shaved bald, you're like, I think that's him. And you spend like that 30 minutes as they run around the whole place, they all run by you, and you're just like looking, and you're trying to figure out which kid's yours. Then they have the parents go into like an assembly, that's what it is, where they tell them about a few things, and you're just the whole time you're like, where's my kid, where's my kid? And so then when you come out from that, they're standing out on the field, and it was a rainy day, so he was in his overcoat and hat, and you see them, and they still are holding you back, and now you know where your kid is, and it's like, go. And I remember I was in the front row, and I just like ran to him and just hugged him, because you've missed him so much, and you see that growth in him. Thank you. And
I told her I brought my
she has my
okay?
back.
Look at this, okay?
I
I
brought
brought
Kleenex.
everything.
But that first hug, you are just like, you've seen the growth in that 12 weeks, and you see that he left a boy, and he's now a man.
Yeah.
And he's learned that he can do really, really hard things.
And learn that you
Yes.
can do really hard
Yes.
things letting him go.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. And so that was a great day. After we get our hug, we get to spend some time with him, and you see him with his sister, which was another just sweet reunion. Because
Who is his twin?
His
You
twin,
did.
yeah.
So that was so fun to be there with them. And then they come out, and then it's the more formal graduation. And they are dressed, it depends on the weather. Like I said, it was a rainy day, so they weren't in their dress blues, which are my favorite. But they're dressed, and you see them march, and you see them, their whole platoons and their leaders and stuff like that, and just how they come together. And it's pretty amazing. And I'm so proud of him and for what he learned during that time.
Right.
So,
Because they're so young
yeah, they are so young.
when they go in.
So when we had this block, I took an opportunity. I said, Alex, I want to know what freedom means to you. And he gave me two answers.
How old is he?
Right now he is 21.
So when he went in,
He was 19.
19.
He signed up when he
Okay.
was 18, and he went in. He had had a birthday, so he was 19.
Okay, 19. Oh,
So this is the lessons you want every 21-year-old to know. The first thing he said is, he goes, there is freedom in service. Okay, and I'm like, well, do you mean like your service to your country? What, like, he's not like service to others, because you forget yourself, and it allows you to be free.
Wow. Say that
dang
again.
it, Cheri, give me the tissues. Oh, I told you I wasn't going to cry, and now look.
So there is freedom in service, because you forget yourself and you serve others. So that was and as a mom, you're like, wow.
I'm so proud of him. I did that.
Yeah, that's my son.
Yeah.
And the second thing that he talked about is, he says there is freedom in rules. And I'm
Yes,
like,
there
wait a
is.
minute, this is your 21-year-old.
Yes.
And that's something like through military and through experiences and stuff like that he learned that, when you obey rules, you have more capacity to do things that you want.
More freedom.
And more freedoms.
Yeah.
And so it really was a good talk to him. And I know all of us that have done these blocks, and even those of you out there that have done these blocks, and you're having these discussions with your family members, that they have been such great discussions, because
Right.
you're finding out these truths that your family knows too. And so,
And you wouldn't do it if you weren't stitching
Yeah,
your story.
yeah,
I mean, you know,
exactly.
And
because I
inspired
don't
to
think.
ask.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. That's beautiful, Cheri.
Yeah,
That
it
was
was-
absolutely touching.
Oh.
yeah.
And what a great take on freedom. I mean, you know, because I think all of us know the price that our military and our servicemen and those that serve in the community, I think all those that they're willing to pay. And a few of us know the price that
Yes.
is paid.
Yes.
And I'm so grateful every day for that. I mean, you know, and that people are willing to step up and to do that. And as you know, I come from a somewhat military family, and you hope you do. I was watching the news last night with those horrible plane accidents and saw Dad on there who his son was the pilot, and he said, when they brought my son in, that's my baby boy
Yeah.
in that casket. And so we do know, and I know that there are many of you out there that have paid the ultimate sacrifice
Yes.
on there that have been touched by that. But every day we are free because of that.
Yes, we are.
And so I just thank you to your son.
Yes.
And-
I mean, you know, thank you to your grandpa who from that greatest generation who
Yes.
kept it all in their heart, you know, and we don't know. I mean, we're a little bit more vocal, I
Yes.
think now.
And I
than-
think those of you that have served, not only thank you, but when you are asked to stand up, please stand
Please
and give us
stand.
those
Oh my
few
gosh,
minutes just to
yes.
thank you, because it does touch. I know personally it touches my heart to be able to do that, and I just want that moment to last even longer and longer when you're in a stadium or whatever event you're in when they ask that, because it does mean a lot to me, and I know others that it does. And you may feel like your service was not
Because
important,
there was a
but
generation that didn't want to talk about it.
Yeah.
So
My
Yeah.
grandpa was one of those people too.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So
So-
please.
Okay, so share with
Okay,
us.
so the block that I was asked to do, I was asked to do it in the same style that a lot of the blocks were done in the book that we're going to be discussing tomorrow.
Right.
Okay, so we're giving you a little sneak peek into what's coming tomorrow.
Susan Goldman Rubin will be joining us tomorrow, and you are in for a treat.
yes.
Yeah, because this book is fantastic.
Yeah.
So please join us tomorrow for when Susan comes. But
Yes. So
we're doing things a little backwards today.
So what they talked about was some improv blocks. And oh man, we're not done crying if you're wondering. Cindy and I were on our way home, and I just looked at her and I said, I know what I'm doing for my block. And I says, I got to do it tonight. And so I went home, and I have a bag of scraps, and they're left over from when I made a Levi quilt from my dad's pants, and he passed away over 18 years ago, and I pulled him out and I did my first improv block, and I want to show you that first. So this is it. This is a pair of his pants, and you can see like the wallet there. It's a little bit cockeyed in there. That's my dad. And as I was sewing this, I didn't want the bulk in the seams, but these were pre-cut strips, and like up here at the top, I just pieced them back together. And that's kind of the improv style. They're just cut. It
is what it
It
is.
is what it is. And I was going to make this my freedom block, and I decided it was a little bit more, but it kind of ties to this because I have to read this quote. Maybe if I can see through the tears and everything else. This is a quote that is in this book, The Quilts of Valor, from Susan. And well, it's not from her, but it's a quote in the book. It says, "Many breeches quilts hold memories. Old clothes carry something with them," said Mary Lee Bendoff. "You can feel the presence of the person who used to wear them. It has spirit in them."
Isn't that so touching?
I pulled those clothes out and I sat and cried for probably an hour because it was all of a sudden my dad's presence was there. And there was some shirts and there were some pants, and I was like, I think that's my legend block. I'm going to fix it up a little bit more so it represents him
I
and
love
stuff
it.
like that. But
I love it. It
or
still
not my
has
legend,
the-
my heritage block.
It still has the grease and
Yes.
everything. That's
He worked at the
awesome.
railroad, and
Yeah.
so he had grease on all of his pants, and so that was an important
Yeah.
include in that and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. So I was like, I can't do that for my freedom block. Let's move on. And so the block that I pieced is this one.
Oh, Cheri.
And with
Beautiful.
this
so
one,
beautiful.
in the military, they now have their own camos. And so I went on a trip to try and find some of the Marine camo. That did not work out because, and we have a place that sells this kind of stuff, but they did not have Marine camo. And I was like, do I cut up? I can't cut up his pants. But I thought it. But I was able to find a bandana that was more of like kind of the generic stuff.
Nice.
But I did this block in a home, in a log cabin, because that always represents home. Yes. So that is the base of the block, and then I went more improv and did the flag.
I love it.
And then I put the badges on there to represent my grandpa and my son. That is our freedom block. So,
oh my!
In an improv style.
You know what? There's been smiles in our heart and a little bit of tears, but that's why we're here, and that's what we want Stitch Your Story to be about. Yes. Because the journey that you went on to create these two is so beautiful, Cheri.
And it is.
And thank you for sharing.
And I hope it is a journey for you guys, and that you're finding out stuff about your family and about yourselves, and that it's not a happy journey all the time. It's painful. You're having to unpack those feelings a little bit, and so take that chance to find out about yourself a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know. But what freedom comes with that?
Yes.
And so, well, I cannot wait to see what you two do over on this improv
We're gonna
styling.
show you some improv blocks.
So, all right, we will move on to thing 2, and I can't wait.
All right, let's go.
Monday, February 10th, we'll be joined by designer Amy Smart from Riley Blake Designs on 3 Things Live.
She's going to be showing us a new approach to jelly rolls and what's new in the sewing world.
So watch live at 1 p.m. Mountain and 3 p.m. Eastern.
Let's go!
Calling all long arm enthusiasts. Come meet up with my girlfriend's quilt shop at the Handy Quilter headquarters in Salt Lake City. Learn from the pros and finally master the long arm quilting machine. If you are thinking of buying a long arm or just need some informed practice, then join us March 5th through the 7th. The pricing for this event is unbeatable, and we'll also be offering discounts on all the needed supplies. So, yeah, you can afford to come. For more information, visit us at mygirlfriendsquiltshop.com or click the link below.
Last week on 3 Things Live, we launched Operation Organization.
We looked at your sewing rooms and, well, you need a little bit of help. No, trust me, we do too.
So we invited our good friend Corinne Wells from Riley Blake Designs to show us how to fold and store your quilts.
Suzanne shared a creative way to use up your scrap fabric. Vern helped us find ways to get a little more organized. Then we finished up by adding a little bling to our iron cases.
It was another week of Can't Miss TV on 3 Things Live. Join us every Monday through Wednesday at 1 p.m. Mountain and 3 p.m. Eastern. Can't join us live? Watch it on demand via Facebook or YouTube by clicking the links below.
3 Things Live is where we always have something to make you smile,
Something to learn.
and something to discover.
Let's go!
Cindy,
Hello.
are you ready for this?
I guess I just had to take and redo my makeup.
It's all good. We are ready to look at doing some improv blocks. And we kind of are talking about freedom, and my son that talked about freedom and rules. And there is the same thing in quilting. If you know the rules, it doesn't mean you have to follow them.
I know.
But they become those guidelines. And I think that the more, like, the rules that you know, it gives you that freedom to create a little bit better. So
I love to create.
We're gonna do that a little bit. So
And what does improv mean?
Improv is just, it's just kind of going for it, playing with colors and with
Making it up as you go.
Making it up as you go, and you still have to follow the rules. You still have to do, a seam, but it can be done in a 1/4 inch. It could be done in a 1/2 inch. It could be done, by hand, by sewing machine, however you want to do it. So, like I said, there's some of that freedom in knowing the rules and how things go together and how they work together. So we're going to look at doing kind of the typical freedom symbol. We're going to look at doing an American flag. And so this is one that I did right here. We can take a look at that.
I love it.
Isn't that fun?
It's screw-wumpy.
It is.
That's my friend. I love it. Look at this. Nothing is straight.
So it is so much fun. And if you were able to look at this super, super close, I had this piece of kind of a low volume right here that has the Star Spangled Banner on it, but it wasn't long enough. So you know what I did? I just have a seam here, I have a seam here, I have one right here. So I just sewed it together. And when you look at it, the overall look of it, you don't even notice it.
No.
So it just gives you that freedom to create.
I love it.
So we're going to look at this. We're going to let you do one of these blocks. You're going to be the
I'm going to be the
sewer,
doer.
but we're also going to let you make some of these creative choices.
Okay.
So to start you out, I got your bottom section done. Okay.
Oh, good.
So we're going to look at the top section up here.
Okay.
And let's start with what blue you want.
Ooh, what blue?
And I brought a couple of different blues here. We have some dots. We have just some.
Well, this one right here.
This one right here?
Yeah.
This is a fun one because this is kind of symbolizes your freedom in your quilting journey a little bit too.
Yeah.
So we're just going to set that to the side. So we have this blue here.
Okay.
And now we're going to do some reds and whites. Now, I will tell you what's kind of nice about this one is I kind of wanted about 2.5-inch squares. Did you guys wonder why you were saving all those little bits of binding that were left? Because they're already cut and ready to work for you. So that's what this piece is just a little piece of binding that's left over. And I bet if we open it up, there's our little mitered seam. We'll just leave it in there, it's fine. So we've got some red, and on the other ones that you want to use, and look, I mean, like we can throw in some Disney. These are all just scraps.
It can't get more American than that.
It can't
Disney.
get. You want some Disney in
Yeah,
yours? All right.
yeah.
So we're just gonna take it open, and we're gonna cut a piece of this red that we need right here.
I love it.
Okay. We got the scissors out there. They are. Okay. So we're just gonna cut, and this is where I'm like. The improv comes out is that I just
ruler?
not even gonna ruler.
No
I'm
rotary
just
cutter?
gonna cut.
I believe in you, Cheri.
Do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, so we're just gonna cut it a little ways. We don't need the top part quite as long, so we'll cut it off here. And so we are ready to sew that to a piece of white. Do you want to use this piece of white?
Sure.
All right, so we're just gonna put those together, right sides together.
Okay.
And so, now look, it's not straight.
No, but I love it.
Okay.
I love it. I love it.
So we're just gonna go ahead and sew that.
Okay.
Just like that. And just as you get to them, if it's a little bit of a bend, just kind of move this up and go for it.
So no straight line.
No straight line. No straight line.
Because Cheri knows that I'm working on something right now, and them straight lines making my eyes buggy. Just can't do it. I don't know what it is. Okay, really? I might not even be able to do this, guys. And coming from my machine, okay, where are we at?
We have to turn it on. It goes to sleep when we're overdoing thing one.
Jeez.
We get it all going and then
Okay,
it's...
here we go. Do we have it on the stitch we need?
Yep, I think you're good.
All right, here we go. When I go from my little machine to these big super machines, it's a little
The big super machines.
intimidating, but that's okay. All right, well, we're just screaming here. All right. Okay. Is that what I want? That one? That one? I don't know what I'm pushing, Cheri. Like I said, okay. Okay,
All right.
there we go.
So we've got this right here.
Okay,
So does that look good?
Uh-huh.
You're good?
I'm good with it.
Okay, do you want to do this white next?
Can we do that on the top of the red?
Yeah,
And go a
Yep.
red and a white?
a red and a white.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
Does it matter?
No. We can do that one. So
Okay.
there we go.
Whatever floats my boat.
Yes.
Okay. So right now we're making the kind of like the base of the flag. Is that what it is?
We're just making the top part a little
okay.
bit, so it'll go up kind of by our blue,
Okay.
our blue section here.
Okay.
So do you see how like this freedom, like it really is just kind of nice. I can just cut, I can just sew, I can play
Yeah,
with the colors.
This is my
I
kind
can
of
play with,
sewing,
yeah.
guys.
And you're like, okay, I remember looking at this book and Suzanne and Fern were here. And Fern opened up the book and just said, I can't
I can't look at it.
I can't look at it. The lines aren't straight.
And I'm like, let me look.
Yeah, it's a little bit wonky. And so you kind of have to let that go a little bit, that perfectionism. So we have that.
Okay.
Look at there. So we have red, white. We're gonna add another red.
Yeah.
Do you want, we
Yeah.
have this one's already cut, ready to go.
Oh yeah, let's
That
just
one?
do it.
Okay. So we open that up.
Okay.
This was also another little piece of something that was just left, just the right size. So
Hey
there
guys,
you
this
go.
is where your scrappies come in.
Yes, the scrappies are so great for this kind of
You
a project.
mix scrappy and improv. Huh. You got you a project there.
And it's kind of, we've talked before about like mindless sewing.
This is mindless sewing.
It is, because you just put it together. And, you know, sometimes if you just need to sew just to kind of clear your mind and like that repetition of stuff like this, it's okay if you sew it and don't like it and you just can throw it away.
And I love that she's using me as the guinea pig. Okay, mindless sewing.
Mindless sewing.
If you don't know what that is, think of Cindy.
Thank you, Cindy. No, it's just kind of that repetition and that sound of the machine. It's just kind of that freeing of your brain and lets you just kind of think and let go and create and feel like you're doing something.
I mean, I'm not even worrying about the straight lines. I'm just
Look at that.
groovy.
Look at that.
I love it.
Don't you just love that?
Yes.
Okay, should we do another red?
Sure.
All right,
Let's get her done.
let's do the red right there.
Okay. Zippity doo dah.
And then after you do this red, we're gonna sew on the blue
Okay.
and sew it together. It's gonna be great. I love that Deb says that she's been purging her fabrics and threw away a ton of scraps. And now she's gonna go retrieve them. Nope, let them go. Let them go.
No, go dumpster diving, Deb. Do it.
No.
Take pictures.
Let those ones go, and you will have other scraps
You'll
that you
have
can
more.
use.
You'll have more.
Because obviously, if you threw them away once,
Yeah.
they were not bringing you joy. You Marie Kondo'd those.
No. And look, I just totally just went right off the grid there.
I think you'll be okay.
Yeah.
All right. So next, we're gonna sew our blue on there.
Okay.
Okay.
I love it.
Do you love it?
I do.
Do you think should we press it first?
No.
No, she's like, we're all going
We'll
out.
press
We're
it
going
after.
all out. All right. So we're just gonna, because we're not gonna be able to sew this. This is where I'm like, there's rules. Like I can't sew this and then come over here.
Oh, no.
And make it attached to this fabric. So we're just
No.
gonna cut.
Okay.
So here we go. I'm gonna come up to this one and just cut straight up.
Okay. So we're going to kind of even that out.
Yep.
Okay.
So we have kind of like just that straight edge.
Okay.
And we are going to sew it to this right here.
All right. Yes.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. I know. How lucky am I to have a teacher that just sits right here and
It
does
just
all
sits
this
right there
for
and
me?
hands it to you and says, now sew this.
Now just sew this. Now just sew this. Sew that.
I will tell you, my cute daughter-in-law is learning how to sew a little bit.
know.
And we sewed some little knit pants on the serger on Sunday.
You did?
And she was like, this is gonna take all day. And it took us like an hour. And that's what I did with her. And she was like, I just made pants.
This is awesome.
Yeah, so
This
they're
is
so
awesome.
adorable.
Okay, I did catch it all.
You did catch it. That's good. She looked. Okay, so here we have this.
Okay.
And now we're going to sew the bottom piece that I have for you.
Oh,
right
look
to
at
it.
you.
Okay. So we want some of it to come under here, so we're going to go probably about like that.
Okay.
And just sew that on.
I love it.
Okay.
Okay.
And look how wonky we are.
I know.
So you can either follow that, or if you want to straighten it out, you can straighten it out a little bit.
I don't want to straighten it out. So.
Okay, so then just kind of sew
Yeah.
up to this point and then come back down.
Yes.
I love that you're loving this wonky look.
Oh, I'm all about the wonk.
You're all about the about the wonky. I don't know if you saw the comment that Fern put up. She's like, I am just not wired for that.
I know Fern would be having an aneurysm right now. But you know what? That's what, I just love it because that's,
I think we should challenge Fern. Fern, we want to see your improv block.
I challenge you.
No rotary cutter, no ruler, no. I want to say blindfold yourself and sew it.
And I want to see you stare at that book for 15 minutes. That book is a really pretty book, though.
It is a really, really pretty book.
Yeah,
It is.
visually.
There is some really
Very fun.
really neat things in there. Some, as you learn about kind of the history and all of that went on with those quilts, those beautiful quilts. That were
Okay,
made.
now mine's not as screwy as yours.
Yours
but
is not.
it's-
Well, because at this
it's
point,
okay.
I took mine and I just put it on a little bit of an angle when I straightened it up. So as you lay this out here, you can either
Yes.
decide to do it straight-ish.
Oh, no.
Or you can rotate it even more, and then you're gonna cut your 12.5-inch block. So I'm just gonna set this one on
Okay.
top of it so you can kind of see, like right there.
Oh my gosh, look at that, guys.
So we can just square up like that. We can,
It will
we
be
can go,
wonky.
yes, we can go a little bit more because we have just those two corners that we have to worry about.
I love it. Let me iron it.
Let you iron it?
Yeah.
Okay. Are we?
I think we're, let me use this beastie iron over here. I think it's on.
Yep, it is on.
Okay.
I was worried about it turning itself off again too.
I know, you just never know.
You never do know.
But you know what? It's nice that everything shuts off because I'm a little forgetful that way. They need to invent a candle that you can light, but then it just blows itself out.
Before it
Wouldn't
starts,
that be great?
before it starts your house on fire.
Yeah. Oh, Cindy just left again. We're gonna have to blow ourselves out. So
I do have to laugh at our two comments. Fern's like, Fern has left the building. She is not accepting that challenge.
wow, Fern. Okay.
And Peggy says that she cannot get past the no ruler. She's all embrace everything else. So,
Oh no, guys, you
right.
can do it. Come on.
okay, so we can kind of see this. So we're
Screwy.
it's just like
Yes, on an
okay,
angle.
On an angle.
And why are we've got the ruler out?
Well, because this part we want to embrace those rules
Do we?
a little bit.
Do we,
yes,
though?
we do.
Do we,
Because
guys?
these now have to go into
Do
another
we?
quilt, right?
Okay,
All
we do
right.
because we're going to hook it all together.
Yes,
with
we
others.
do have to have some rules.
Okay.
I mean,
Yes.
there's freedom
You're
in
cor-
rules, remember?
Yes.
Okay, so we're gonna just do this one first. I'm gonna have to stand up. Okay, so I just did this. And then we're going to do our 12.5 inches over. So we're gonna put that, I'm gonna use my ruler here. So there's,
Yes, on the mat.
yep, it's lining up at 12. And
Okay.
we're gonna go to 20, I'm just gonna lift this over. So at 24.5, because we need it to be 12.5 inches.
Right.
So there it is.
And Deb, she's right. Don't worry about your scraps because look, when you cut this up, you're going to have more scraps.
You'll have more.
Yeah.
And then we'll come here and we'll line this up with this. And right here.
Add the 24 and a half, correct?
24 and a half, and then
Okay.
the 12. And look at that. Your block.
Guys, I'm so excited.
There's that little.
Look at that. You guys, look how cute that is. Oh.
And we didn't have a pattern. We didn't measure anything until the
No.
very, very end.
I love
and then
it.
we have our
Ta-da.
improv block. We have all kinds of different fabrics in there. We have Mickey Mouse. We
Oh my gosh.
have quilting. We have.
How easy was
so
that?
Isn't that fun?
This is how every block will be done from now on. Everyone, yes. It will be my improv quilt.
Isn't it?
I love
okay,
it.
now Fern's like, hey, just dying you seeing ironing that wonky mess. How did it turn out though, Fern?
Come on, Fern.
Come on, Fern, give us a thumbs up.
Yeah, because that turned out so cute.
Isn't
You've
that
got
cute?
Yeah.
Okay, so
So excited.
that is how you do an improv block. And so
Hey.
we are going to be showing you something else that we think you guys are going to like right after this.
Hey friends, heads up! On Three Things Live, Susan Goldman Rubin, the author of the Quilts of G's Bend, will be joining us live.
She'll be sharing fascinating quilting stories from her life and book. Join us at 1 p.m. Mountain and 3 p.m. Eastern.
Let's go.
Okay, so join us tomorrow because we have the author of The Quilts of G's Bend by Susan Goldman Rubin, and she is going to join us to talk about this fascinating book. And I
It's a fun
cannot wait. But it's all about improv quilting, and so that is where you got your inspiration
Yep.
for improv quilting and
Yes.
the story behind it. I mean, even in the first 2 pages is absolutely amazing about how these came about. So,
Yes.
so join us tomorrow. But we've also discovered something really fun. It's something that we've done before. So, Cheri,
Yes.
tell us about our
So
discovery today.
It is time again for the Quilts of Valor block drive. And
Yes.
I love, love, love this program because if you want to do a whole quilt, they are totally going to accept that and they are going to welcome it and they are going to donate that to someone who has served in the military and gift them with a Quilt of Valor. They do have requirements that they within the sizes and stuff like that, but it's pretty lenient.
yes.
And so if you have a quilt, it can have a panel, it can have different things. But every year they choose a block. And what I love about it so much is that you can do one block and send it in.
And if all of us did one block, can you imagine how many Quilts of Valor that they could donate?
Oh my
Yes.
gosh.
So we are going to accept your block if you'd like to send it to us, and so, or you can send it directly to Quilts of Valor. And so I know that up on the screen, if you want to just send a block in or send your quilt in, absolutely look on the www.qovf.org, or you can send it to our warehouse, and we will
We'll collect them
collect
for a
them
while,
for a while and then
send
send
them
those
in.
on for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it is great. So the block that they're doing this year is the log cabin. And I did not know that even until after I'd done mine. And I'm like, we're gonna have you guys hold these up, just to show like they prefer that they are done in like red, white, and blue. So you can see that we have a red option, a blue option, and then one that's a little bit mixed. And
Fern did these, so this is right up Fern's alley. Very
Look how
straight.
nice and shade. Since we're
ruler.
she did. Good job, Fern.
They're beautiful.
But they have a tutorial that you can watch on how to do these, or they have just all of the printouts of all of the links that you can print off from their website and do. So one block, or they also have a section where it says, or choose one of these 12 possible quilts that you can put together from log cabins.
Right.
And if you want to do a whole quilt, there's some really beautiful quilts that are just done with log cabins. So.
And we've also, Jackie did a great three
yes.
about the log cabin quilt
just
blog that you can find on YouTube if you would like to sew along with Jackie to do these. But
Yes, and these are 12.5 inch, just like we're doing. So if you are just like, I just want to do, maybe you want to do one for you and do one to donate, and that is your freedom.
Yep.
Is that you have that freedom to donate to someone else too. So.
Yep. All right, so that is great show, you guys.
Yes.
Thank you for the tears, the love, the memories, the stories, your take on freedom. I mean, absolutely beautiful. And I cannot wait. Tune in tomorrow.
I'm so excited.
Yes, I am excited too. And then we also have one more take on freedom tomorrow. So,
Yes.
yep. All right, that's our show today. Do something you love, enjoy, sew just a little bit, and try out some improv. You never know. You might find.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It really is. Just let yourself go.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.